Welcome back. Now we will see another type of unary operators. We already saw unary plus and unary minus, and we saw what are unary operators. Now unary plus plus and unary minus minus are known as increment and decrement operators in Java. That is, we have a int a equal to 5. That is, a has got a value 5. To increment the value of the a, we can give a is equal to a plus 1. Similarly, we can write it as a plus plus or plus plus a. These all three statements are doing the same operation. What is that? Incrementing the value of the variable by 1. So these increment and decrement operators are not in every programming language. They are there in our C language, C++ language, and now in Java language. Similarly, we can have decrement operators to decrement the value of a variable by 1. We can do the a as a is equal to a minus 1, and same thing can be written as a minus minus as well as minus minus a. All these three are doing the same thing. What is that? Decrementing the value of that variable by 1. So we call this plus plus and minus minus as the increment and the decrement operators. What is a unary operator? A unary operator is the one which is operating upon only one operand. Now we are going to see the difference between these two. First one we wrote after the variable, second one we wrote before the variable. That means after the operand as well as before the operand. If we write this operator before the operand, let us see, minus minus a or plus plus a. The operator is given before the operand. Then we will say that it is prefix increment or decrement operator. Before the variable, it is known as prefix increment or a decrement operator. Next, if we give these operators after the operand, then we will call, that is, we are going to write it as a plus plus or a minus minus. After the operand, we call them as postfix. Postfix increment or decrement operator. I think it is clear. See, whether we give before the variable, that means prefix, after the variable, that is the postfix, both are doing the same thing. In case of increment operator, the prefix increment operator will increment the value by 1 or 2, whatever it is given. Postfix increment will increment the value, same. Both are doing same when they are used with a single variable. But they have some differences when they are used in an expression. I mean to say is, whenever we have two variables or more variables, the prefix and the postfix have a different in nature. That is what we are going to see. Difference between prefix and the postfix in an expression. Let's see the difference between the prefix and the postfix. Let's see one expression. S is equal to 0, A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3. Okay, now I write the expression. S is equal to A into plus B. We are giving the increment operator with the second variable. And let us see how it is working. We are having one diagram here. Initial value. First variable is S, second variable is A, third variable is B. S is equal to A multiplied by plus B. Okay, now initial value of S, it is 0. Initial value of A, 5. Initial value of B, that is 3. Now, second step we are writing change. I will tell the reason. Change. Why we wrote the second one as change? In the prefix increment or decrement operation, we are following a certain principle. That principle is like this: change, then use. The prefix increment or the decrement follows the principle of change, then use. So we write prefix increment or decrement operator follows the principle of change, then use. The variable which is given with the prefix increment operator or the prefix decrement operator will be changed. That means their value will be changed. See which variable is having the prefix one? B. What was the value? 3. 3 is changed. It becomes as 4. A, that has no change. A will remain as it is. The S will remain with the same value. That means we have the principle of change, then use. In the second step, what happened? The variable which is attached with the prefix increment or the decrement is changed. Next we can see what is that? Change, then use. Using step. 4 here, 5 here, 5 into 4, 20. The final result which is stored on the S will be, that means when you give SOPLN, yes, the value will be printed as 20. Reason is our prefix increment or the decrement operator is following the principle of change then use. The variable which had prefix operator is changed first, then only it is used. Now, let us see prefix decrement also with the help of another example. P is equal to A into minus B, where A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 2. P is having no initial value. That means it is 0. Let us see. Same way of explanation. P here, A here, B, first step, initial value. Initially what all values were there? P had no value, that is 0. A had a value 3. B had a value 2. As per the following principle, change then use for any prefix operator. So we have a next step as the change step. Here we are changing the value. Which variable is having the prefix operator? It is with the B. It can be with the A also. Now we are seeing it is with the B. So B, it is decremented. So change is making it as 1. The A is 3 and the left side value is not calculated. That is using is not done so far. In the next step, after the change, then use step. 1 into 3, we get the product as 3. When we print the final value of the P, SOPLN P, the value will be printed as 3. That is, before the multiplication, the value of the variable which is given with the prefix is changed, then only it is used. Is it clear? Okay. Now, let us see what is happening with the postfix increment or the decrement. With the help of examples, we will see what is the nature of the postfix increment or the decrement. Okay. Postfix follows the principle of use then change. The postfix increment or the decrement operator follows the principle of use then change. Let us see. See one expression. First one. S is equal to A into plus B, where S was nothing, A was 4 and B was also 4. Initial values of A and B are given there. We have to have a postfix. So this should be B plus. Okay, let's see how it is working. S is equal to multiplication. This is A, and the last one is our B. First of all, see initial values of all variables. What are the initial values of all the variables? A had a value 4, B had a value 4, S had a value 0. What is the principle of postfix increment or the decrement? It follows the principle of use then change. Second step will be here as using 4 and 4 same values. Using means the operation will be done. So 4 into 4, 16. Next, what is happening in the last step? Change. In the change step, the variable which is given with the postfix increment or the decrement will be changed. So here 4 was given with the increment operator. So 4 will become as 5. Variable is changed. This A will remain as it is and the result will remain unchanged. The same result will remain. Reason is it is already used, then it is changed. It will not affect the final result. If you are printing the value of S here, if you give SOPLN S, the value of S will be printed as 16 only because the expression was calculated first, then only the variable was changed. Okay, now let us see the postfix with the help of decrement operand. D is equal to any variable P multiplied by Q minus minus, where D had a 0, P had a 5 and Q had a 4. Let us see what is happening. Same principle of postfix. Use then change. Make that table where D is the variable storing the value of P, which was 5 initially, and the Q. What is the value of Q there? Q is 4. These are the initial values. Next, what we have to do? Use. Using means 4 and this 5 are multiplication, division, or whatever it is, that operation will be done. I used in all the places multiplication. That does not mean that this is working with only multiplication. You can have division also, addition also, subtraction also. Whatever is the case, the principle will be used and changed for the postfix. Okay, now 5 into 4, 20 is the result. This is used. Calculation is done. Next, what is happening? Changing. The 4 is changed into 3. This variable remains as it is, and the calculated left side value will be remaining unchanged because it was already used. Calculation is done. Only the variable which is attached with the postfix will be getting changed. I hope it is very clear.